Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to today's Bitcoin update for Saturday 21 of May. Weekend has started, alright? Weekend started in and we actually saw a little bit of the redness going to the downside. And yesterday on the Discord, if you're not in it, so click on this link right over here and you're gonna be joining into the Discord. Yep. I was like telling them, seems like Thursday trap playing out like a boss. Yesterday we did talk about the Thursday and how Thursdays are actually a trap for so many traders out there. And so today on a survey though, I asked if they think if Bitcoin is actually gonna be red or not. So many people think that Bitcoin is actually going to be red, which is can be true, but the thing is that you have to be realistic, and the reality of it is that you are still not breaking the sideways movement. Yes, you came to the downside, went up, go up, came down to the support, find resistance here, came down here, went up again, you came down, but you see you're bouncing off this level, which is a support level nonetheless, if you look at it that way, right? So can you actually come a little bit down again and hold this level and then continue to the upside? That's something that is possible as well. So don't get too excited about the drops to the downside. It could be, and one more thing I'm going to say is that if you continue this movement by Sunday and Monday as well, and you don't do anything and you just keep on moving to the sideways and consolidate a little bit to the sideways, then there's a good chance by the weekdays you start to actually pump and move to the upside. Because one thing I still want to point out is that 35,000 level was a level that I was really expecting for Bitcoin to go to the upside. But at the same time, you see, we still have problem, and that's when you actually dive into the weekly. So when you go into the weekly time frame, you basically did something here. I'm gonna tell you, and that is you lost this level of support. Do you see that? That's a very big level of support. And all you did is you went to the downside, you came up, and you find resistance at that level. It's a very big resistance on a weekly time frame, which is going to be $31,700, right? So this line right over here. So even if Bitcoin ever went up, it could have been quick wick and then you continue to the downside. Not only that, you still have three black crows, which signifies a continuation to go to the downside. So the story is not just over, and this could end up being a Marubozu red candle to the downside like this by the end of the week. You don't know. Today's Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. We're going to actually open up a new candlestick during the Mondays. And if you don't move to the downside, then there's a good possibility that you still actually continue with this sideways between 31,000 and 28,000, right? So that's where you're actually stuck on a small time frame. If I dive into the 4-hour time frame, here we are. This is what I'm talking about. What I'm going to do right now is, bring in the RSI. What the hell? Damn. All right, just a sec. Boom. All right, so I don't know why it's a very difficult, task to bring in the RSI these days. Yeah. So all right. So one thing I noticed about the RSI is ever since 9 of May, okay, you made an uptrend, went up, came down, went up, came down to the trend line, went up again, came down to the trend line, and now you have actually lost the trend line and you went for the retest and potentially failed it, and now you're looking to actually go to the downside. So RSI can give us a clue of the direction of what Bitcoin wants to do, right? So in my opinion right now, since you've lost the uptrend on a 4-hour time frame, there's a good chance that from here you actually go to the downside, and that is if the RSI is interested to move to the downside as well. That's actually going to be correlated to the price movement of Bitcoin right over there. And the biggest support that you have on a 4-hour time frame is going to be the 11 section. That's where Bitcoin might come and take a rest right over there. And this has been previously it really dumped way more hard to the downside to the 11 section, right? So who knows, it could actually come a little bit down here to 28 or 27. If things gets even way more nasty, it's going to go way more down, maybe again to the 10, and then move to the upside, right? So the RSI is still indicating a little bit of bearishness, which can actually affect Bitcoin to move to the downside. Now the question really is is Bitcoin putting in a bear flag? Do you see that? This could be a nice, beautiful looking bear flag. And the technical targets I'm going to tell you is from the top here to the bottom. And if you start to break out of it, it actually takes you down to number one, 27,868. That's the first thing. Right, so that's the bear flag. The second thing is that you're gonna have to measure if you were to break to the downside. You take the top here to the bottom of the sideways consolidation box, and then wherever you're gonna break out, you're gonna go to this level, which is gonna be $26,342. You can actually come down here, who knows, make a double bottom, because you do have a wick right over here, and it could be another mini double bottom, and then you start to move to the upside. That's something scenario that is likely to be possible as well. But once the move is made, we're going to talk about it. One more thing that I want to say though is that if you by chance you actually do come up here and you break this level and backtest and hold the level, then understand that the technical target, just as the way we talk about the downside technical target, we're going to talk about the upside technical target, and that takes you to nearly 34,100 or $200. That's where you're actually gonna go and find another resistance in the technical target, basically. So what do you think is the direction, guys? That's something quite interesting to see. Now let's see the monthly as well. The monthly is a little bit important to watch and a little bit important to look at it. Now on a monthly time frame, something is making me wonder that what's going to happen in the next month, because that's important. What is going to happen in the next month? So right now Bitcoin is actually trying to close below $28,000. If it close below this wicks you see down here on a monthly time frame, that's a good indicator that the next month is going to drop maybe to the $23,000, $22,000. But you see, when you do that, aren't you just putting it three black crows right over here again, which signifies that that's not the end of the drop, and maybe this could take you all the way down to 18,000, 17,000, and potentially bottom from this place for good, and then you start to move to the upside. Or this could be a nice big huge double top on a monthly, and considering that you're breaking the neckline now, that's going to take you from the top here to that bottom right over there, and there's a good solid chance that when you break out of it, you do come down to the 17,000 or the $16,000 based on that double top, right? So we're going to actually see if things are going to head that way in the futures update as well. So you're going to have to wait, right? You're going to have to wait, because you still have 10 days more left to close this huge red candlestick right over here. A lot of people do say that these two patterns are the same, this one right over here and this right over here, which I don't really think they are the same. You see, this one had a reversal spinning top, right? So this was a bullish spinning top, and the price is reversed to the upside. But unfortunately here, what you see is a three black crows, and I talked about it before, a bear flag, which takes you to $20,000. And yes, this bear flag is actually still in play. Let me actually tell you this one, okay? So I refresh once again. That was a bear flag on a weekly time frame. It's way visible, and this is where you're breaking out of it. The technical target still yet has to be met, and that's going to be 22,198. So maybe next month you come to 22,000 and make a little bit of relief back to 26 and 22. That's where you bounce from, and then you drop to the 18,000. Then you completely bottom out and continue to go back up to north once again. And that's it for today's update. I'm going to see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.